What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a new champion is crowned in AEW, Bret Hart's shocking claim about Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels, Nikki Bella getting bigger implants, the Lucha Brothers reunite, as AEW ripped off an NWA championship, an injured superstar returns to the ring, a big update on a WWE star that's been injured, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at AEW Full Gear Fallout. On top of today's news is our look at some of the fallout from last night's AEW Full Gear pay-per-view. Of course, if you haven't watched the show already, beware there are several spoilers ahead. AEW crowned its first national champion in a 12-man casino gauntlet match with Ricochet pinning Kevin Knight to win the title. Ricochet is now the inaugural champion. In tag team action, FTR defeated AEW World Tag Team Champions Brodito to win the championship for the third time, tying the Young Bucks for holding the title the most times. In the main event, Samoa Joe pinned AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page in a steel cage match to win the title. Now the pay-per-view also saw Hook turn heel by clobbering Page with the title belt, allowing Joe to get the win. There was also a face turn when the Young Bucks ran in to help Kenny Omega from a post-match attack from the Don Callis family. Chris Statlander also stopped Mercedes Moné's quest for gold. And for those keeping track, Mercedes Moné didn't add another championship to her collection as she failed to defeat AEW Women's Champion Chris Statlander. Moné, who currently holds 13 titles from different promotions, came up short again in a quest for the AEW Women's Championship. Now this was a big win for Statlander as she was 0-2 going into the match. But a main event star returned to AEW. A Full Gear also featured a huge return as former AEW World Heavyweight Champion Swerve Strickland showed up after Samoa Joe's controversial title win over Adam Page. Swerve, last seen at AEW's August Forbidden Door event, confronted Joe and the members of the Ops, eventually throwing down with several Ops members and siding with Page. And now that Swerve is back, it'll be interesting to see how long before he challenges Joe for AEW's top prize. Next up, Bret Hart reveals a shocking rumor regarding Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels. Now it's time for a shocking accusation from Bret the Hitman Hart, whose recent chat with Johnny I Pro Show led to some bombshells about how he viewed Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels' relationship back in 1997, saying that they were lovers and sleeping together.
I think there's more going on here between these two guys. Honestly, and I'm not trying to be, I'm just being honest and blunt, but I don't know, I suspected. And now I really have I think that Shawn and Vince were sleeping with each other. I'm just telling you, I think I'm very close to the truth here. Shawn and Vince were lovers, and that's why I'm being dead honest. I got caught between two lovers. And I got shafted and screwed over, and Shawn was so envious and jealous of my position that he finally had to sleep with Vince to get it. And I tell you, I say all this with absolute, I would say it to Shawn if he was right here.
Hart explained that he grew suspicious when he saw a tear run down Vince McMahon's face during Shawn's famous, or infamous depending on your point of view, "I lost my smile" retirement speech. Bret also made some shocking statements over the years, including his ongoing vendetta against Bill Goldberg. The Excellence of Execution addressed Goldberg during this interview, comparing Big Bad Bill to Brock Lesnar, saying that Brock Lesnar is a professional and Bill Goldberg is not.
Yeah, I would like to wrestle Brock Lesnar. I've always understood that Brock Lesnar, I heard that he wished that he had wrestled me one time. And I've always heard from different guys that Brock Lesnar is a professional. He's really good. He's not like Goldberg. He knows what the wrestling is all about, and he does it right. And some guys like Goldberg never understood it ever.
But Bret didn't stop there, as he also made mention that he doesn't watch today's wrestling, as he just can't watch it because it's too fake.
I think, I love the way, I'll be honest, I have a hard time watching today's wrestling. I just can't really watch it. It's too fake for me.
What do you think of Bret's comments? Do you think wrestling is too fake nowadays? Is it too choreographed? Next up, Nikki Bella getting bigger implants. And Nikki Bella recently revealed that following an implant-related incident from a past procedure, she now plans to increase her implants. During an interview on Entertainment Tonight, Bella explained that after an MRI, doctors found a minor shift in one of her implants, something which made sense to her because she was informed that a previous implant had fractured and was supported by her pectoral muscle. Now, while Bella had initially considered downsizing her implants after becoming a mother, she's now changed her mind, and she stated that the implant issue actually provides a suitable reason to make the change she now wants, moving to a larger size when she feels the timing is right. I think I was just tired at the time. I was like, well, I want to go a smaller size. I'm a mom now. Then it became, no, I want to go a size bigger. Now I'm like, I have the perfect excuse. When the time is right, I'm gonna get it fixed. Now, this will probably be after her WWE career is finished, as she recently mentioned that this is going to be her final run in the WWE. Next up, the Lucha Brothers reunite. The fans clamoring for a Lucha Brothers reunion got their wish last night at AAA's show as the real-life brothers Penta and Rey Fenix showed up to challenge Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. Daddy Dom was talking trash after he and El Grande polished off El Hijo del Vikingo and Dragon Lee, albeit with help from El Hijo, who turned on Dragon Lee during the match and walked out on him. The Lucha Brothers issued a challenge to Daddy Dom and El Grande, and now fans can see the Lucha Brothers back in action at the December AAA pay-per-view. While Penta and Rey are currently working on separate brands, it's believed that WWE plans to reunite them at some point. Penta has enjoyed a notable push since debuting on Raw earlier this year, while Rey has a mixed success in singles and tag team matches. Do you think it's time for WWE to reunite the Lucha Brothers on the main roster? Next up, Tony Khan reveals the reason for lengthy AEW pay-per-views. Now, if you're wondering why AEW's pay-per-views are endurance contests, once you add up their pre-show and main show, with some shows running over 6 hours, well, it turns out that AEW doesn't have any other choice. At least that's a story being told by AEW president Tony Khan, who revealed during Full Gear's post-show media scrum, our contracted time for the show has always been close to 4 hours. If you look back, every AEW pay-per-view has gone over 3.5 hours. There's never been one under that because we're required to run shows that go about 3 hours and 45 minutes. If we didn't, I'd have people to answer to. Now, although AEW's pay-per-views can seem like bladder-busting events, there's no doubt that the promotion gives its fans plenty of high-profile matches, unlike the WWE, which typically books 5 matches at its show, unless it's a Big 4 PLE running 2 nights. I can't discuss how AEW has avoided having to use filler for its pay-per-views, comparing AEW to WCW's Chi-Town Rumble. Thankfully, we didn't end up in a Chi-Town Rumble situation where they had to send out enhancement talent to wrestle for 15 minutes after Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat because they didn't meet their contract time. But do you think there comes a time when a pay-per-view is too long? On the other hand, what's the minimum amount of matches a PLE or pay-per-view should have? Next up, did AEW rip off an NWA championship? Now that AEW has crowned its inaugural national championship, the belt is in the headlines again, and not for the right reasons. AEW's decision to introduce its own version of the title, once defended in the NWA's Georgia Championship Wrestling during the 80s, drew a fiery reaction from the current NWA, which introduced a new version of the title in 2018, making it second only in status to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The NWA accused AEW of blatantly ripping off the title, and now Ringside News reported more on the controversy. Ringside News was told AEW had blatantly ripped off the NWA World Television title design for the AEW National Championship. It was noted that the color, insignia, and overall design of the national title was particularly a photocopy of the legendary NWA World Television title. It was specifically noted, it's bullshit that they ripped the design off. Now, the similarities are astonishing, but it's unknown if the title design or name was trademarked. If not, it's more than a matter of bad optics than any promotion having a claim to the title. Next up, an injured superstar returns to the ring. Fans watching a recent AAA taping were in for a surprise as WWE superstar Apollo Crews wrestled in a dark match against Lince Dorado. Wrestle News reported, Crews answered an open challenge issued by Lince Dorado and secured the victory, marking his first win since suffering a significant injury earlier this year. Crews had been out of action due to a torn pectoral muscle sustained during a match against Johnny Gargano on the January 24th episode of SmackDown. But with WWE using AAA as a platform for some of its underutilized superstars, it wouldn't be a shocker to see Crews booked in AAA. Next up, a WWE star injury update. Speaking of injured wrestlers, it's time for an update on WWE superstar Zoe Stark, who's been sidelined since suffering injuries to her MCL, ACL, and meniscus last May and is in the midst of a grueling recovery. Stark tweeted a video of her physical rehab along with this message saying 6 months in and finally able to run and pivot pain-free. It took some time to get there, but we got there. According to Wrestling News, Zoe's recovery has its share of twists and turns, as at one point it appeared that Stark, who had already undergone reconstructive surgery, may have had to undergo a second operation, with doctors believing she might require a second procedure, a scope to clean out scar tissue in her knee if her range of motion did not improve. Fortunately, Stark was able to avoid this additional surgery, which would have reset her recovery timeline. Thankfully, that didn't happen, and right now there is no timetable for Zoe's return, but it was noted multi-ligament knee injuries typically require a recovery period of 9 to 12 months, potentially placing a return sometime in 2026. Zoe Stark has impressed fans for some time, with Stark supporters hoping that she would get a push to showcase her talent. But in the meantime, we send our best to Zoe for a fast and full recovery. And finally, Jim Cornette shoots on Ricochet. Last but not least, time for a look at Jim Cornette's latest battle with AEW wrestlers. Cornette, who's criticized AEW for years for its style of high-risk moves, just one of many criticisms he's leveled at the company, blasted Will Ospreay, who's currently sidelined with a neck injury, for apparently supporting kids who uploaded videos of performing wrestling moves in their living rooms. Cornette tweeted, he says from his hospital bed after major surgery, "Kids keep trying this at home." This led to a reply from Ricochet, "Didn't a bunch of old school guys have knee, back, hip, neck, and all other types of surgeries and injuries? Weren't they working smart? You sound effing dumb as shit." A Cornette fired back saying, "Many did, simpleton. Came from taking bumps as pros and getting paid for them, not getting flung off roofs into parking lots for free as children like you and your trampoline friends who claim to be pros but are stealing money from a rich kid to put on your own jack shit shows." What do you guys think of this war of words? Who's really in the right? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.